I'm Greg, just another dog owner with a very social dog. This is Frida, if you can see it. And she needs a safe off-leash area to play in. There's some great fit-for-purpose off-leash areas all around Perth and various suburbs, but unfortunately we live in Midland. And Midland's one of those forgotten suburbs, a very safe Labor seat, being ignored for years and years, and it's a place where footpaths end or don't exist, bike paths end or don't exist, and to be honest, the City of Swan doesn't seem to give a damn, and neither does the state government or previous state governments. Perhaps the new ones will, I don't know. It's a weird area in that Midland is divided in terms of local government into the City of Swan and the Shire of Mundaring. The City of Swan gives us basically nothing as a safe, fenced, off-leash area, properly designed. The Shire of Mundaring, to their credit, have a design proposal for the Brown Park precinct where there will be a properly designed dog off-leash area, although we've found some faults in that as well, but they're listening to us on what's needed. The City of Swan, well, it doesn't have anything, it doesn't care, or doesn't seem to care. The Shire of Mundaring has also made available an ex-council dump area for us to use in Belfer Road. It's not brilliant, but all of us with dogs really appreciate it. And it sort of works, although it's not quite perfect. Now, what I want to do is, I've done a clip of the wonderful precinct at Bayswater, where you'll see there's lovely parklands that are all watered, etc., lovely fenced areas for small dogs and big dogs. The facility is just brilliant. Lovely, lovely area to walk through and to be through. Here in Midland, well, we don't even have watered parks as such. We might have a few watered sports ground, but parks, well, we just leave them because somebody doesn't care. And then I'll show you what we've got at Belfer Road, and again, full appreciation to the Mundaring Shire for what they have at least tried to provide us. And then we'll have a little talk afterwards about what a whole lot of us as dog owners think the City of Swan and the state government should be doing to help us out and help us with our dogs. And I will also add that I reckon about 80%, perhaps even as high as 90% of all dog owners have rescue dogs. We've rescued these dogs from hideous circumstances. Our girl here was locked in a shed way down south. We care about animals. We care about how they should be looked after and the facilities they should have. And we are ratepayers and residents. Time to listen to us and do something. Thank you. Now this starts off just from the car park in Bayswater and leads sort of basically along the river course. And to one side there's lots of trees, and then if you look out here to the right, big grass fields. So we'll go to the left, and we're walking across this little bridge over to the on-leash area. So there's a massive, beautifully grassed area here, which is all for dogs on leash, which is, I assume, was where you can take your reactive dogs and that sort of thing. So beautiful area, lots of bins, lots of trees, everything all provided. So then we'll turn around and we'll look the other direction, and we'll head back to a massive grassed area. Way off to the left, we'll go up to shortly the fenced areas, and then in front of us, well, there's a map that sort of shows us, but I put the map in, but you've really got to be there to understand it. But it's very good and very instructive. If you get there and you haven't been there, you know exactly what's got to happen. This area here is for dogs off leash, so dogs that have got excellent recall and aren't going to attack other dogs You can run around there, and that looks off to the fenced areas now. Just give you a broad outlook of how big it is. And this is not a shared sports field where somebody's got to play AFL or rugby or something rather than share it with dogs and somebody hasn't picked up after their dog or something. It's purely for people to exercise their dogs off leash. That looks back across to the little bridge leading to the on leash area. Anyhow, here we are looking at the fenced off leash area. This is for small dogs up to less than 10 kilograms. All sorts of stuff in there. Beautifully done, and very clever the way they're separating for the small dogs and the big dogs. And you look over the fence here. I didn't bother going in because you can see what's happening. There's all sorts of things there for the dogs and people to sit down, and water supplied, etc., etc. And it is right next door to the big dog area. And people tell me that sometimes the small dogs want to get in there with the big dogs. It depends on the owner, really. And it's replicated with the big dog area. So that also makes it very easy. You quite often get elderly people who've got the little dogs, and standing in a big dog off-leash area, you can get bowled over as they all run and exercise off. So a lot of people feel a lot safer in the small dog area with their little dogs, both for the dogs and for themselves. So that's beautifully done. Very, very well done, I thought. So this is the Bayswater precinct. Beautifully presented and massive. Lovely walkways, even if you don't have a dog. Still lovely to walk away through there. Perhaps not with a cat. Now we get to Belvoir Road, and this is the temporary area put up by the Mundaring Shire Council. And that fenced off area, that fencing was actually supplied by a ratepayer to help the house that was once sort of that used to be a toy library. It fell into disuse, and a lady last year went to the Shire and said, hey, look, this would be a great area. It's not used. However, you'll see that the Shire has put in some benches, and they're kind enough to put in some water for the dogs as well. You'll just see now. There's no power or anything like that, but they do provide bags. You've seen what they've got at Bayswater, and you've seen what we've got in Midland. To finish off, I'd just like to call on the City of Swan and the state government of Western Australia and the Shire of Mundaring to come up with a proper designed off-leash park for small dogs, big dogs, that's watered, that's got all sorts of facilities provided. We deserve it, and it's time to come up with it. Thank you for listening.